This year's game, we focused on a balance between aggression, speed, and skill. Every year we do things in all the different areas, but this year we really wanted to put that balance in place so that we have the best hockey game ever on this generation or in past generations. So we focused on aggression by adding the true collision or NHL collision physics and the enforcer engine. And for speed, we added improvements to our true performance skating engine from last year. And for skill, we did one-touch deeks. So each one of those add another aspect to those three pillars so that people can have a balance of a big hitting team will actually be very good, but if you know what you're doing with your skill or with your speed, you should be able to counteract that. So that way, when you're playing the different the game, you're always focusing on what is what you want to do to be successful at that moment. So with our collision physics, better hits, stronger hits, the players are going to actually react properly to the hits now. Enforcer engine, spur of the moment fights. In the past, you always had to accept a fight. Now it can happen. It won't pull you out to a first person view. You're going to stay within the game context and be able to have that experience right on the ice as it happens. For skill, the one-touch deeks, a layer below our advanced deeks that actually lets a user do a quick deke to try and get by someone, making it easy for anyone to pick up and try it. And then for our true performance skating, we improved our moving left and right and turning and pivoting so that now playing defense is a little easier because you're not always going to have that issue of when I turn, the forward can get by me. They're actually going to stay in front of the forwards a lot easier, thus making it more balanced between offense and defense for skating. I think it's authentic to hockey. It's the only sport that has fighting. So we try to do it as an authentic piece of hockey and not glorify it. It happens because kind of how it happens in real life. There's a rules kind of in place that if you hit my star player with a hit that's sort of illegal, one of our guys will come and protect him. That's realistic to hockey. It's not. We're not making up things to make fights happen. Also, it's one of our most asked for features. No matter what country I go to, or in the United States or Canada, they always talk about the fighting and in the game and stuff. So it's a historic piece of hockey, and people know that it's there. So I think for us, it was more about keeping the person in the actual moment of the hockey game and understanding what caused it by that emotion of, oh, they hit a star player and now someone's going to come and fight him because they want to make sure that you don't touch my star player. And that's what we're focusing on, not so much just the fighting has to be good because it's fighting. It's you want to make it a fun experience, but it shouldn't be the whole game. I think this year we focused on this generation, and I think we came up with a really good set of features that bring out a great hockey game experience, and we'll have more features on other areas of the game coming out too. I think as we move forward, each machine will stand on its own console-wise, and as EA, we'll do our best with everything that we have at our disposal. So I don't know if this is the end of the line. I don't think that's necessarily true. I think it's us just deeming what we want to work on and keep going forward. And I think that there's still life in everything. I mean, the last console generation, the machines were around for a while after, so and people still made games and had fun with it. So we act on a lot of the feedback that our consumers give us. We have the message boards through EA Sports, message boards on other sites that we go to and look around and see what issues are coming up or just what requests. And the fighting, I think, was they wanted to see it so that the player's skating around, and instead of that first person view, but more of a third person view, that they could see the action of the fight. And I think with the new engine, you see the players moving around as they fight and tussle and throw punches, and that's realistic to what you see on TV. The players aren't really standing completely still and throwing punches. They're always moving left and right. And I think this engine provides that experience of I'm still on the ice and I'm fighting. The other experience was literally just two stationary objects fighting, and it didn't feel as realistic or authentic. So I think that's where our consumers said, hey, we really want to see this, so we focused on that part. And I think the representation we did is really, really good. Just seeing the way the players interact and move and fight, and it's just such a cool thing to see how they look like what you see on TV. It's pretty impressive. I think the sport of hockey is unique. It's very fast. It moves back and forth, so there's always momentum and ebb and flow of the game. So I think that helps the fun. I think our goal is to make it so that every piece that we put into the product is balanced properly. And I think when we sit down and go, hey, aggression, speed, and skill, if they're balanced, you're going to get that fun factor, because one can't beat the other all the time. And that's the frustration of a video game. If this makes me win all the time, it gets boring. So we wanted to balance it out and make it so that, hey, you could be a really fast team and that could help you win, or you could be a very skillful team, meaning, hey, it could be slow, but it's really hard for you to, I can pass the puck around and do that way, or I could be aggressive, like, you know, a team like Boston, who's very aggressive and they hit a lot. Thus, over time, they will wear down the opponent and they will have the opportunity to score their goals. So we wanted to make every way a good opportunity to win. And in that way, it feels like real hockey, as every team builds to be a little bit of everything.